Alright fam, strap in because we're about to summarize the movie Jurassic Park. Have you ever seen a billionaire flex so hard they resurrect dinosaurs? Well, that's the premise of this movie. Dr. Hammond, a stylish fellow who looks like Santa Claus if he lived in Costa Rica, brings dinosaurs back to life and decides to open a theme park. It sounds like a great idea, but unfortunately they eat a bunch of people. And it's great.
Jurassic Park.
That's pretty good.
Hammond has intentions of opening to the public, so he invites some top-shelf, big-brain scientists to give his park a blue checkmark. There's Dr. Alan Grant, the OG dino nerd, who's more comfortable with fossils than with the idea of spending time with children. And there's Dr. Ellie Sadler, the plant whisperer. They're a couple, and Dr. Sadler wants Dr. Grant to open up to the idea of maybe having children in the future. He's not sure about it.
They are literally climbing the wall.
They also invite Dr. Ian Malcolm, who looks like the lead singer of an indie band. He's a math guy who talks about chaos theory all the time. He's not so sure things are gonna go well with this whole dino theme park thing, what with the overall disregard for natural order, playing God and whatnot.
What can go wrong?
And then we've got lawyer Donald Gennaro, who's the type of guy that would suit you.
Lawsuit has begun.
He probably carries around a briefcase full of cease and desist letters. Once inside, the guests embark on a tour of the facilities, and their excitement is bubbling like Jeff Goldblum's early 90s sex appeal. On their tour, they witness a giant brachiosaurus and probably standing on its hind legs to eat leaves from the top of a tree, and a herd of medium-sized dinosaurs whose species name I've never learned.
You freaking freaks! When will you learn?
After that, they go back to when they're back at the lab, and all the wonders of modern science are on display as the team watches the birth of a baby velociraptor. They also get front row seats to dinosaur feeding time. A poor, unsuspecting cow is lowered into a pit and promptly ripped to shreds.
Oh my god.
It was a moving experience for everyone. I'm sorry. And finally, no deadly island full of bloodthirsty monsters is complete without a couple of kids. That's why Dr. Hammond has brought along his grandchildren, Tim and Lex, to join in on this fun adventure, just in case they run out of cows.
Stop it. Get some help.
Tim's geeking out on every dino fact like someone reading deep lore on a subreddit.
My safe space is Reddit.
And Lex is just trying not to become a snack. Dr. Grant thinks they're both annoying. Hammond stays back to hang with the computer dorks, Sam Jackson and Newman from Seinfeld, while the rest of the crew goes on a safari tour in their goofy-looking electrified Ford Explorers. This place is basically Disneyland, but with higher odds of extreme violence. As they slowly ride around, all they encounter are some plants and a triceratops with a severe case of indigestion. There's a big pile of shit. Dr. Sadler puts her hands in it because science. Backtracking a bit in the plot, Dennis, i.e. Newman, the resident computer nerd who keeps the whole park running, is also an industrial spy for a rival company, and wants to steal dinosaur embryos from Hammond to make some cold, hard cash. With the grace of a velociraptor on roller skates, Dennis does what any self-respecting rogue would do and shuts down the entire security system. This also shuts down the electric fences that keep the dinos in their pens.
Look what you did, you little jerk!
Despite Hammond's spare no expense motto, it turns out it's pretty easy to accidentally release every single dinosaur on the island with a single press of a button. Mother of all predators, the T-Rex, makes a late entrance. Gennaro becomes her first meal, eaten straight off the toilet.
It smelled like a toilet full of nasty ass shit, okay?
Dino goes after the kids next, but Dr. Grant goes full action hero mode, rescuing Hammond's precious grandkids. Malcolm is left critically injured, probably because he couldn't see through those really cool sunglasses. At the same time, Dennis is struggling to get off the island. He's driving like a lunatic in the rain and eventually crashes. He is swiftly facialized by acid and shot by a dinosaur that looks like a 17th century aristocrat. Sadler and some other dudes show up in a jeep to find the others. They are aggressively chased by Mrs. T-Rex.
Why are you running? Why are you
And
running?
the kids are like, yo, let's take a nap in a tree because that's the most logical thing to do. They wake up to find a brachiosaurus just casually munching on some leaves nearby.
Being vegan just makes you better than most people.
Lex is all like, OMG, I'm scared. But Grant's like, nah fam, these guys are chill. So there they are, witnessing these majestic creatures in all their leaf-munching glory. It's like a peaceful nature documentary and shit. Who knew dinosaurs could be so zen? Then one sneezes on Lex and it kinda ruins the vibe.
I don't think I feel well.
Three of the four crew members, including Sadler, try to restore the power to the security system. While doing so, they somehow release even more dinosaurs, which unfortunately happen to be the cunning and deadly velociraptors. Another oopsies.
Oopsie whoopsie! Ooh, we made a fucky wucky!
While trying to fight these things, the two guys are killed, while Sadler narrowly escapes. Meanwhile, Grant, who likes the two kids now, tries to bring them back to safety. They cross paths with some weird ostrich-looking dinos, and then they encounter an electric fence. Dr. Grant, in an act of Darwinian defiance, tests it with a stick, and surprise, surprise, doesn't get zapped.
God
Gotcha, bitch!
So up they go, probably assuming the park's insurance covers intentional electrocution. The alarms go off, which I'm guessing are just there to warn of impending doom. They rush over to the fence, but Sam doesn't quite make it. He gets zapped. Luckily, he doesn't die. They get back to the main complex, but boo-hoo, it's completely empty. Grant, in a classic case of how not to babysit 101, decides to leave the two kids alone in the kitchen while he goes hunting for survivors. I mean, what could go wrong, right?
What?
Suddenly, the kids find themselves pursued by velociraptors. These aren't your average kids, though. They're some big brain millennials from the 90s. Lex decides to trick them because she knows they don't know physics and shit. She makes one raptor slam into what looks like a metal mini fridge by using her reflection. They get the fuck out as fast as possible after locking another one in a freezer. The raptors are smart. One of them figures out how to use the door handles. Grant, Sadler, and the kids are finally back together, ready to put their survival skills to the test. They rush to the control room to restore all the power. Our heroes dash to the main building with the raptors hot on their heels. They round a corner and it's like they've hit a dead end in a maze.
I can't do this anymore, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going.
But fear not. Fortunately, the fucking T-Rex magically appears out of nowhere and eats the raptors, so the humans are able to escape. In the end, the survivors escape, the park is in ruins, and Hammond's dreams are now officially extinct.
The whole thing! Right down the crapper!
But hey, at least they've got an epic story to tell.